Greetings Marines, FiOth here, and today in this first vid of a new series we will be breaking down the guns of Aliens Dark Descent. I will not be making an individual vid for every single one, that will not provide enough value for you and I don't want to waste your time with fluff. I will be dividing this project into three parts. One will be primaries, one will be secondaries, and all will be specials. And we're gonna start with the primaries, starting from the pulse rifle and moving on until we hit the plasma rifle, the end game level 10 primary firearm in the game. I will be explaining their damage profiles, the abilities that come with them, why there is some misconception about certain of those, and of course whether or not you should include them in your arsenal. Without further ado, let's get going. First and foremost, the M41 pulse rifle, the staplest of staples when it comes to iconic guns in movies. The pulse rifle has damage profile of 1 up to 2, ammo per burst is 2 ammo per burst, burst duration is 0.75 seconds, ammo clip size 100 ammo, reload is 3 seconds, dismemberment chance 0.5%, and associated skill the U1 grenade launcher. This is the gun that every single marine in the game starts with. It's something that even the gunner begins with, and it brings with it a specific skill, the U1 grenade launcher. There is a misconception about the grenade launcher, and I have to make it clear now so people will be able to make an informed decision. If no one in your team uses the pulse rifle, you do not have access to this skill in your abilities skill that presents itself at the bottom of the screen. If you develop the heavy, sometimes you'll think, well, that's the next gun, so it's better than the first gun. But if you want this ability, you have to have at least one marine in your team with this gun equipped. Some people will say, let's have two, so if there are two clusters of eggs, we can blast them at the same time. But from bitter experience, I have come to realize that if there is even a millisecond of delay in between those blasts, one of the two clusters will automatically detect you. I don't know whose freaking idea that was, that you have only a millisecond of time, but the only way to clear multiple clusters at the same time is to kill one cluster with a sniper rifle and then the other cluster with a grenade. That's a little tip from me to make your life easier. So, what are we looking at here? It is a very serviceable weapon from start to finish. Pulse rifle will never go out of fashion. Pretty much the most balanced and healthy stats in the game, and of course a very powerful ability. On normal, you can substitute a sniper shot with a grenade, kill a roaming drone instantly and stay safe, although this will make some noise, unlike the silent sniper rifle. The damage is okay, it has a very large ammo clip, its burst duration is fine, its reload is 3 seconds, and it has 0.5 dismemberment chance. Could be better, but also could be worse, as we'll come to realize in a few minutes. As I said earlier, always have at least one marine carrying this thing around, because you do not want to be deprived of the U1 grenade launcher, especially if you develop the stasis grenade that improves grenades by slowing enemies by 50%. So no matter what you think, since this is the starting quote-unquote weapon, keep one of your marines with it and you will not regret it. Second is the M56 smart gun that is exclusive to the gunner. It deals 1 to 2 damage, ammo per burst is 4 bullets, burst duration is 1 second, ammo clip is 150, reload duration is 5, and dismemberment chance is 0.3. When it says that the burst duration is 1 second in comparison to the pulse rifle that is 0.75 seconds, that means that it will deal its damage over longer intervals. So you want the burst duration to be as small as possible. What the smart gun does better is that it deals 4 ammunition points worth of damage in 1 second, while the pulse rifle deals 2 ammunitions worth of damage in 0.75 seconds. So what you're getting is higher DPS with this thing, although it will eat ammo faster. The 150 bullets magazine counteracts this. Okay, it has the lowest dismemberment chance though. Don't get me wrong, I love this thing and it's a no-brainer for the gunner, but you have to understand that this gun is intended to do raw damage. If you do not develop your gunner with specific perks, you are missing out on a lot of potential for the smart gun. Bone Breaker. Bone Breaker will come in handy by default when you reach a specific level with your Marines, that's level 6. After this, I suggest you go Deadeye, that increases critical and dismemberment, so you'll have the best possible chance of dismembering enemies, because the gun's inherent dismemberment ratio is very low. Now the smart gun can also be deployed with a tripod to become an extra sentry, at which point the gunner will pull out his secondary weapon, that will be either a service pistol, revolver or submachine gun. My humble opinion, if you have not at least developed the revolver, don't use the tripod, because the service pistol is a pea shooter. You pretty much handicap your gunner to be very subpar in comparison to what they could do if they were actually using the smarty. So smart gun is very powerful, is class specific, always have it on your gunner and use its tripod ability according to the situation at hand. The M41E3 heavy pulse rifle is next, and this is very interesting. It is a fine balance between having a smart gun or having a pulse rifle, but comes at a cost. Damage is 1 up to 2, ammo per burst is 3 ammo per burst duration is 1 second, ammo clip is 125, reload duration is 4, and dismemberment chance is 0.6. So let's run a comparison here. The damage is the same between the pulse and the heavy pulse. It uses 3 ammo per burst in comparison to the 2 ammo by the base pulse. Its burst duration is 1 second, whilst the base pulse is 0.75. 125 bullets in comparison to the 100 of the base pulse. Its reload speed is 4 seconds in comparison to the 3 seconds of the base pulse. And its dismemberment chance is 0.6 in comparison to the 0.5 that comes with a basic pulse rifle. But as you can see here, the basic has the U1 grenade launcher, whilst the heavy pulse does not. It's a kinda stronger, kinda more dismemberment prone weapon that is a bit clunkier to use and deprives you of the grenade skill. Now, if your unit is not a gunner and you already have 1 up to 2 base pulses, there is no reason why you wouldn't use this. Better dismemberment, bigger ammo capacity, and better damage, albeit in slightly longer intervals. Okay, so when you have 40 members, and I suggest one of them is a gunner with a smarty, you can have 1 person with a pulse and 2 with a heavy pulse. If you have 5, you add another, either base pulse or heavy pulse according to your playstyle. But some people sleep on this primarily because it doesn't have the grenade launcher, the people who know that this is why they don't get any grenades in their tooltips. But to be honest with ya, consistent damage is very important, especially when you're making a stand. So use this in a fine balance between using the base pulse and the heavy pulse, and you'll have the best possible results. Last but not least is the XM99A1 phased plasma pulse rifle, and this is the level 10 end game weapon. Damage is 2 to 3. Already we're seeing excellent increase in damage. Ammo per burst is 2. Burst duration is 1, ammo clip size is 100 bullets, reload duration is 3, dismemberment chance is 0.5, and the associated skill is Overloaded Plasma Beam. This is a shredder. Enemies that come to you in a straight line will be decimated. When you're fighting in corridors, you can pretty much eradicate a line of enemies with this thing. Only problem is that once you have used it, the plasma pulse rifle will be overheated, and you have to give it a little bit of time for it to be usable again in that fashion. Apart from that, it is the final primary weapon you will be able to unlock. Only 10 level Marines can use it, and it absolutely is the best option to deal consistent damage and have a powerful skill at your disposal, bar the smart gun of course. So my final suggestion for having a 4 Marine squad and my final suggestion for having a 5 Marine squad. When you have 4 Marines, 1 should be using a pulse rifle with a grenade launcher, 1 should be using a smart gun, and 2 should be using a heavy pulse until you get the plasma, and then you can swap both heavies out, or 1 heavy should stay in for the dismemberment and one should be replaced by a plasma. If you ask me, both of those should go because the heavy pulse doesn't even have an ability on it. When you have a 5-man team, 1 pulse with a grenade, 1 smart gun on your gunner, and then go 3 plasmas or 2 plasmas and 1 heavy if you want that extra dismemberment. This is my analysis of the primaries and my suggested squad composition for Aliens Dark Descent. Next vid we will move on to the secondary weapons, which of course are more of a supplement to your arsenal, but still there is a couple of things that we can talk about. So if you enjoy this content, sub, like, hit the notification bell. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below, and until next time, be well, stay frosty, and always strive for perfection. Cheers!